Hey guys, I'm Lee from Lee Likes Music, the place to share, explore, and learn about rock music from Bandcamp. And in today's video, we're going to talk about Frankie Rose's newest album, which is called Cage Tropical. So that's coming up. So Frankie Rose is an indie pop and rock artist from the US who's been a member of noise, pop, and rock acts such as Crystal Stilts, Dum Dum Girls, Vivian Girls, and Beverly. With most of these groups, she's experienced pretty good reception from the indie community, and after spending years as a major presence in Brooklyn's thriving music scene, she moved back to her home in LA with the goal of re-establishing herself as an artist. After some drama, she ended up on a catering truck. She experienced some sort of personal crises, but eventually she got back into her groove and started writing music again. When asked about her inspirations for this album right here, she said, "My references aren't just music. I love old sci-fi. They Live is one of my favorite movies ever. Same with Suspiria. 80s sci-fi movies with a John Carpenter soundtrack with silly synths, that makes it into my life. To the point that I'll write lyrics and incorporating that stuff, it's all there." I can definitely hear the 80s influence here through the reverberating drums, and you also have those dreamy shoegaze effects on the electric guitars that became very popular in the late 80s. So, surely said, this is one of those 80s new wave albums, and when I say one of those, I'm not exaggerating. Out of the 10 tracks on this record, I only like 2 of them. Track number 6, Cage Tropical, and track number 8, Red Museum. Let's talk a little bit about these 2 tracks, okay? So track number 6, Cage Tropical, this song managed to grab my attention right away, and I think that is mostly because of the more creatively designed beat and the hefty melody you'll find here. You also have a very balanced and lush production, which really helps it a lot. Another part of this song that I really enjoyed is how Rose is delivering this robotic, hinged vocals during the chorus, while during the verse, she feels more organic and intuitive. And you also have these piano parts, this piano playing in the background that makes the song feel very warm. It's kind of bouncing a bit back and forth, and I like that. I like the fact that the song is dynamic because it makes it more challenging and more addictive for me to listen to it more. Now the next track that I also enjoyed a lot is the 8th track, Red Museum. Now this is really different and a lot better. The melody kind of floats between these eerie and grounded states. If you listen to the chorus, you'll hear all of these small melodic segments coming in and out, and they're beautifully layered on top of each other in a very they have a sense of direction, and that is so good. There's a satisfying display of push and pull in this song. Both in the verse alone, there's like both a grounded and an airy state, as I told you before, but also in the chorus you have more of a release. So there's always this dance back and forth that changes tempo, that changes intensity, and yeah, that is the reason why I love these 2 tracks in general, because they display some very strong dynamic elements. And that is what the other tracks on this record lacks. You know, most of the tracks are very flatline pop and indie rock tracks with very little innovation in either the lyrics or the melodies. If you want to create music similar to a previously laid out music genre, culture, wave, it's super important that you combine that with your own unique sound and flavor. If you don't, you become a snowflake in the wind, because there are just so many other bands, so many artists nowadays that are trying to recreate and use elements of these 80s pop genre. Some of them are combining many new elements and making it into their own sound, but there are just so many other examples of people and artists that do the same thing, but they just regurgitate it. They just recreate what people have already heard, and that is so irritating. It's the same with psychedelic rock and progressive rock. There are so many artists out there that are doing the same thing over and over and over again. Now, back to this album, just to mention a few of the tracks that I didn't like. Tracks like Art Bell, Trouble, Dyson Sphere. They're very two-dimensional. They either take on a driving or ethereal character. And when it comes to the sci-fi inspiration that she mentioned earlier in the interview, I really can't see any of that in the lyrics. If there actually was some of that in there, it might have made the album more interesting, but it's not there. Great production here, but since there are only 2 tracks that I'm going to revisit maybe in some distant future, I'll probably give this album a 3 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like to share, explore, and learn more about rock music from Bandcamp, then I highly suggest you click the red subscribe button below. Also, make sure you hit that bell icon beside the subscribe button, because in that way you'll always get notified when I upload new videos to this beautiful place right here. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you later. Stay tuned. Bye.